Okay, so do you guys remember what you did last class? What transformation you did? What was it?
Translation.
Right. So today we're gonna do a little warm up. It's gonna be different than a normal day for you guys because she has her own schedule she follows every day. But we're gonna do a warm up and then we're gonna do some notes and then an activity followed by Delta Math if we have any time. Okay? So I'm gonna pass out the warm up. Take like about. Okay. Let me get a volunteer to reflect over the x-axis first. Of course. Don't pick the color. So you guys are going to fill out your papers that I just handed out while I go over some important vocabulary for reflections. So you guys should already know congruence is identical in shape and size. When you translate a figure, it's congruent, the pre-image and the image. Same with reflections, it should be the same shape and size. A reflection is an object that is flipped to create a mirror image or congruent image. It's also known as a flip over a line in simple terms. The central or mirror line, we're going to call it the mirror line, just to be consistent, is the line that you reflect over, whether it be the x-axis, y-axis, any other line that you flip and reflect over. It shows symmetry and it can be in any direction, not just up and down or side to side. The x-axis, you should know this, is the left to right, the horizontal line on a coordinate grid, and the y-axis is the vertical. Do you want to go to the next? Are you guys?
They're writing, I think.
Still writing? Good. Still writing?
I heard a no. I heard a no, not ready.
Okay, these are some rules for reflections. The corresponding coordinates of the pre-image and the image after you reflect must be an equal distance from the mirror line. You'll see that in a few examples that I have to show. The shape that's being reflected must be congruent. Like I said before, just like in translations, it must be the shape and size before and after the transformation. And then this is the two little rules we kind of dove into in that warm-up. So when points are reflected over the x-axis, the coordinates go from xy to x negative y. And when points are reflected over the y-axis, the coordinates go from xy to negative xy. And that's the last two parts of your vocab. Away. These are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They're all an equal distance from the mirror line. And you have your image and your pre-image. And if you look at the coordinates, you reflect it over the y-axis. So the x values turn the opposite of what they were before. Okay. So we're gonna do 2 examples before our little activity. So the first one, I'll kind of demonstrate and then I'll have you guys help with the second one. Sound good? Okay. So we'll start with C up here. How many away is it from the mirror line? We're gonna reflect over the y-axis. 2. Let's go 1, 2, 1, 2. What's wrong with that?
Need the prime.
Need the prime. Right. Awesome. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And you just connect the dots. Don't mind my lines. And what is this called?
Pre-image.
Yep. And then this is the image. Awesome.
Set.
Okay. Listen up. Thank you. So for your activity, you are going to get graph paper, and using your own creative freedom, you have to choose at least a parallelogram to graph on the coordinate grid. 4 points. So a square, or you could do a rhombus or a star. However many points, you have to have at least 4 points that make a shape, okay? And then there's 2 things that you need to do. You need to reflect your shape that you created over the y-axis, and then also the pre-image over the x-axis. So you need to do those 2 things. Make sure you have all the coordinates labeled correctly. Hello.
Sorry. You have any stats books? I'm sorry.
Okay, so make sure you have all your coordinates labeled and have our little prime symbol for the post image. And you're doing these reflections both from the pre-image. So don't flip it over the x-axis and then flip that image over the y-axis. Do it from the pre-image, okay? And then you have to at least use 3 colors to color your shapes. Okay? Sound good? If you have questions, let me know. If it's at -1, 2, I want you to label that too, not just A, B, C, D, or whatever.